2, 1, cue the music. Let's do this thing.
GarageBand, GarageBand Weekly, GarageBand Weekly, GarageBand Weekly.
Oh, yes, it is that time of the week, time for GarageBand Weekly, your weekly dose of all things GarageBand and GarageBand related. Whether you're a GarageBand creator on your iPhone, on your iPad, on your Mac, hey, even if you're in Logic Pro, I've been dabbling in that in the last week. I'll tell you about that in just a few minutes. Then this is the right place for you. We are brought to you today by my GarageBand Beginner's Guide. If you jump on over to studiolivetoday.com/courses, you can check out, nope, that direction. You can check out this one for just $10. You can pick up this course, and it is 5 hours of hand-curated GarageBand iOS goodness. So if you're just starting out, you've got your iPhone or your iPad, and you're trying to get your head around it, you're grappling with GarageBand, save yourself the time, the effort, the energy, and grab the course for just $10. studiolivetoday.com/courses. Thank you for checking it out. Right, what do we got on the show today? It's going to be a wee bit experimental today, I've got to tell you. So we've got a few things going on. There's some news and views that we're going to talk about in a moment. We're going to have a rant. Plugin of the week's going to be a bit different. I'm going to install a plugin on my Mac for the first time ever. And I've never done it before, so that could be interesting. And we will be doing it in sort of two halves again here today, because I'm working on, at the moment, a track in GarageBand, a cover version of a classic song. So I'm going to do a little bit of playing around in GarageBand. So maybe you will be helping me more than me helping you here today. Who knows? Let's jump into the news and notes of the week, and then we will say g'day to the fine folks who are here live. If you are here live and you do have a question, all you need to do is pop the word question in front of your question, and that will help me identify that you got something to ask, and we will definitely try to circle around and answer as many of your questions as possible throughout the show. But for now, let's jump into these news and notes. And news number one is that we've got a brand new version of GarageBand for Mac. Yes, I know, we're normally sitting here going, guess what, Mac users? There's a new version for iOS, but you get nothing. Good day, sir. But this time around, it's a flip-flop. You're actually getting some new stuff here in GarageBand, and I mentioned it very briefly last week, but we were talking more about the Apple announcement and the new MacBooks and the new AirPods and all the new goodness, but at the same time, Apple just snuck in a little new version. Now, you'll need Mac OS Big Sur to update to this. And I know, don't shoot the messenger. Unfortunately, that's the way it's going to go. The new look is sort of being tweaked for Big Sur. So if you've got an older Mac and you haven't updated to the latest version, then you won't be able to grab this one. But don't take it from me, because where you need to go, you need to jump over here to the GarageBand Guide and check out Patrick's overview, because he goes through it in a whole bunch of detail so that I don't have to. That's the way I look at it here. So jump over to the video. I've got it linked down in the description, and Patrick will take you through all the details. Look, we're both freshly sort of shorn here at the moment, so we kind of look like brothers from the same mothers. Let's just do a bit of a comparison here. No, maybe not. But do go and check out Patrick at the GarageBand Guide. He will tell you what you need to know about this update. But just to give you a quick overview, the main changes that we've got here in GarageBand on Mac is that all the sound pack, those producer sound packs, the Mark Rotson Watch the Sound Pack, the Track Girl, a whole bunch of other sound packs that we got recently in iOS have now been pushed over into the Mac version. That's kind of the big news. There are some other little updates that have been thrown in there, but I won't spoil it for you. I will let you go, excuse me, and check that one out over at thegaragebandguide.com. The other thing that is GarageBand adjacent, and I did a video about Logic this week, and I freaked a lot of people out because they're like, oh no, we've lost him. He's left GarageBand and he's going to go over to the dark side and check out Logic. Well, no, but I am playing around with it, because a lot of people have been asking me lately to do this. They've said, hey, there's a 3-month free trial, Johns. You should go and check out Logic Pro. You got a Mac. It's an M1. It's going to run it. Go and check it out. So I have been checking it out, and here is the video where I show you how to download that trial for free. Not going to lie, I did cop some criticism immediately, despite the fact that it says try Logic Pro free, how to download Logic Pro trial for free on your Mac. People were like, bruh, that's not free, that's a trial. I'm like, are you expecting that they're going to give you commercial software that they've been selling for $200 for the last 10 years and suddenly make it free? This ain't a how to hack your way around it. You know what? If you want to do that sort of stuff, more power to you, I guess. But yeah, I don't understand the whole. Oh, I can't believe clickbait. You told us it was free. I'm like, I pretty clearly said it was a trial for free. Anyway, I'll hop down off my high horse because that's related to the rant I'm going to talk about a bit later about listening to people on the internet. Yeah, you can make a habit of it, and it can make you pretty unhappy. Let's jump on over. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about is the updates to Logic. So I haven't been through all the details, but this guy here, Music Tech Help Guy, that's where I'd recommend you go. There's a video linked down below. Recommend you go and check that one out because there's some cool new stuff, including the new surround. So there's a bunch of other stuff, but the main thing here is the spatial audio, and I mentioned it briefly on the Creator Town Hall this week, but the spatial audio, the ability to use like 7.2 channel sound and have everything sort of going around your head in that Dolby Atmos, or the what's the other one that they call the spatial audio. There's another one for the headphones where you can have it like that. So yeah, I'll be playing around with that soon. And what I'm actually going to do, so go and get yourself familiar with Music Tech Help Guy. That's what I'd recommend. Or if you've got other resources for Logic, do let me know because I'm about to dive into them. So what I'll be doing next month. So this month and the next week, I'm finishing off my track in GarageBand, which I'm doing a cover version of a song. You'll hear more about that later. And then next month, I'll be actually diving into Logic Pro and playing around with some of the new features like the spatial audio and getting familiar with that. The other cool thing about Logic Pro, and you probably saw it on the page that I showed you just there, is that I've already checked out the using Logic Remote for the first time into GarageBand. So I've used that with GarageBand Mac and Logic Remote on my iPad and iPhone. And now that I have Logic, I'll be trying that again. There you go. So spatial audio is what Zuckerberg listens to on his flights to Mars. Probably there. Let's see. I've got a question here. We will pause for some questions and we'll jump back to the news. Question here, what from 268, White Boy. When is GarageBand iOS going to let us change BPM of files we import? It's a good question. I don't think that's going to be something that they'll focus on anytime soon. Now, what I've learned is that GarageBand on Mac has the ability to do this, and I was actually kind of amazed that that GarageBand on the Mac. Sorry, I thought I had it open here, but I didn't. I've closed it off. GarageBand on the Mac. I've just loaded it back up. When I'm working on this project at the moment, it's actually changing. Oh God, I'm getting these weird driver not found errors here in GarageBand. This could make this show very quick if it won't let me actually add my audio here. Oh, it's blanked it out again. I have this problem with GarageBand. I was playing around with GarageBand and then with Logic earlier, and it's giving me these like audio driver not found. Let's just see if it will actually play here anyway. No, it's not playing back at all. Well, isn't that just jandy? This is going to be fun with no audio. We may have to be changing on the fly here because I've got this problem. Any Mac users that want to help me out here, I've got this problem when I go in here and I go into my preferences. We've got these grayed out, the ability to change the devices, and I keep getting this weird error that says not found. Your sound driver's not found. Should have done a reset before the show. Didn't do it. But the short version is that what you can do is there's going to be like a talk show here today, and then we might have to do a second show where I actually get my audio working. Good times. So back to the BPM on GarageBand. So in Mac, what happens is when you bring it in and you change the BPM, even your recorded and your own imported tracks, they actually automatically change the BPM. The problem is on iOS, it doesn't. So if you've got your GarageBand iOS project and you bring in your own audio file and it's not at the right BPM, it won't actually adjust it. Now, there's a few ways to work around this. Jade Star has recently shown the Neon audio editor from 4Pockets, and that would be one way to work around this. And I'm exploring that at the moment, still finding my feet with it. But the one that I've been using previously is actually called Audio Stretch. And it is this one here. If you search my name, Pete Johns, and Audio Stretch, you get to this one here. And it is a paid app. There's really no free way to do this that I've found so far, but there's the Audio Stretch interface that you can use there. You can actually change the BPM and even change the pitch of your audio files in GarageBand in iOS. So then when you bring them into GarageBand iOS, they'll be able to change. But yeah, it is a little bit frustrating that they have the ability to do that, but to do that with GarageBand Mac, but not with GarageBand iOS. And clearly they have the algorithm in there because things like the Apple loops will change. They're a slightly different type of audio file, but it would be great to do some automatic pitch and speed changes with GarageBand iOS. Question from Peter says, a sampler that doesn't increase the speed of the notes, just the pitch, does that exist? Yes, same answer. Same question, same answer. So anytime that you want to change pitch or speed of notes, then yeah, you'll need to use an audio converter that can actually convert it, because all a sampler is doing is playing it back, and then when you increase the frequency, it's going to increase the speed. Once you get into GarageBand Mac, and then especially into Logic Pro sequencer, sampler has really, really good ability to stretch samples and to cut samples. The other thing I'll mention there is you will lose quality. So you are going to lose quality if you change the speed or the pitch. There's no way, because you're adding in or removing samples. There's no way to actually retain perfect audio quality. I think sometimes we have expectations of things that are a little bit too high. Because remember, all it was in the old days with a sampler was speeding up or slowing down the tape. It was physically sampled analog audio. The digital version of that is the same, but it's just taking digital snapshots of that audio. So especially if you're slowing something down, it is adding in additional information. So it's going to sound a bit glitchy. It's never going to be as perfect as it would be at the original BPM. So do keep that in mind. Thomas Christ says, I think that spatial audio is really kind of limited utility. Now that I know more about it, you have to have some kind of spatial headphones and all devices to make use as a listener, it seems. Yeah. And that's the key thing is spatial audio. Apple are really pushing this with Logic because spatial audio is being put into all of their devices. So all of the headphones, so if you've got a pair of what I use here, the AirPods Pro, they have spatial audio. The new AirPods 3rd Gen that are coming out this week, they've got spatial audio as well. So yes, you do need the right sort of gear to actually listen back. You can still listen to the headphones surround. And again, I can't remember the name of it, but if you've got any pair of headphones, you can still mix it in that surround sound file format, and then that can actually encode into the WAV file. So there are ways to get a bit of, it's not the full Dolby Atmos or spatial audio, but there is a way to actually to get yourself a bit more surround sound. Congratulations, Hairbrush Microphone, started recording your EP, excited and scared. That's how you should feel. And remember that, and I'd say this to my children all the time, but nervousness and excitement are actually almost identical emotions. I've talked about this a lot before, and I won't go into a big psychology lecture here. But if you study it and if you work it out, the actual physical and chemical responses going on in your body when you're really nervous about something and really excited about something are almost identical. So if you can take the nervousness and just twist it and turn it into excitement, then that's a good thing to do. Simon Sinek, who's one of my favorite sort of public speakers and motivational figures, he talks about that when he used to be scared of flying, he decided that instead of being nervous about the turbulence and about the adventure and all this sort of stuff, he would actually become really excited about it. So when he was going through turbulence, he's like, hey, this is a cool ride. And I know I've done my research. I know this is safer than like crossing the street as a pedestrian or driving in a car. So I'm just going to enjoy the ride. So I think that's what I'd say about starting a recording. Enjoy the ride and embrace the nervousness, but try and convert that nervousness into excitement. Bear, and this is relevant because I wanted to talk about, in case you missed the news, there are new MacBook Pros, and Bear's got one coming next month. So what I'll say about the new MacBook Pros is there's a bit of a global chip shortage at the moment, in case you weren't aware. So if you are in the market to buy any gear, I'm not saying like, quick, go out and do it right now, but expect delays. Expect that if you're going to order something. So let's just do a little bit of a test run here. Let's just say that I wanted to come in here and order me a brand new MacBook Pro. I'm here on the US site. So let's just say I wanted the 16-inch. This is probably what I'd go with, a 16-inch. I don't know that I'd get the Max. I'd probably go the mid of the range Pro here. And we're going to select this one. And we'll just leave everything pretty stock standard. Down the bottom left here, you can't actually see. Oh, can you? Yeah, you can see that just above where the comment is. It says ships 4 to 5 weeks. So, and then if you change these items, it'll actually adjust because some of them will be like harder to get, so that'll change it. So if I go up to say the 32 gig, Actually, all of these are sitting at the 4 to 5 weeks, so that's not too bad for these ones. But some of the other configurations, depending which configuration you go for, it can be a different delivery time. So let's just go with the absolute base. Let's see, 3 to 4 weeks for this one. 3 to 4 weeks shipping. What if we wanted to change up a bunch of stuff? Let's bring the Max processor. Let's go 64 gig, and let's go 4 terabytes of storage. You can see now it goes to 5 to 6 weeks. So if you're customizing a Mac or if you're buying any Apple gear, especially stuff that you can actually tweak like that, keep in mind that the delivery, even though they're out kind of now, they're starting to ship, doesn't mean that they're going to ship straight away. So do keep that in mind as you're going along. Are we doing questions? Yes. Any questions you have, just put the word question in front so that as I'm scrolling down, then we can do that. Can't see why they're grayed out. Is Logic still running? That may be the problem, Thomas. Logic may still be running in the background. Let's just do that test, because otherwise we're going to be really low on the ability. It doesn't seem to be. Doesn't seem to be running. I'll close down everything I possibly can, and then we'll start from. We'll start from somewhere near scratch. I'm just going to close off, and yeah, we'll see how we go. Anyone here remember Acid? Oh, mate, Acid and Fruity Loops and the OG stuff. Screen Tracker was my OG. Love the old Screen Tracker. Hello, Colin Stanton. I saw Gary Hubbs dropping on in here. We've got other folks. We've got a question here. I think this might have been asked before. How to download a driver for my audio interface to work with my MacBook Air M1, or could I plug it straight in through the MacBook and go to privacy? I'm not sure. That's a great question for the user manual or the website of the actual interface. The good thing is with a Mac, most of your interfaces are class compliant, so you need 0 drivers. So my Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, for instance, I can plug it straight in and it works a treat. It does not need any drivers. It just does its thing and you'll be good to go there. I'll just see if we've got any other questions before we move on to some more news here. The question from Peter: Why do people make EPs? They are listed with singles, not albums. I feel they don't get enough respect. I know that singles and EPs were when I was 5. Not quite sure what the question is. Yeah, EPs, singles, albums, they're all good. Bear is supposed to get it in 5 to 6 weeks. Very cool. Good luck. Magic's Music Maker. My goodness. Yeah. Very good. First laptop ever. Well, congratulations. Talk about diving in to the deep end. Not in terms of user experience, but man, starting out with the brand new MacBook Pro with the M1. Whew, that thing is going to fly along. You won't know yourself, Bear. I know the sort of music you're producing now. Very much looking forward to what you're going to produce in the future. All right, a couple of quick things, and then we'll continue on here. So the iOS 15.02 for the iOS users, you're pretty safe now. So there was, for a time there was a lot of things that weren't really working that well. 15.02 seems to have fixed and plugged all the issues. I now have it on my iPad, on my iPhone, on all of my daily driver devices, and I'm having 0 issues. That being said, please, if you're using one specific thing, check the forum or check the Facebook group or check the manufacturer of any gear or any plugins or any software that you're using, because there are still some things. I don't know, was someone saying Nano Studio or Core Gadget? I think one of the Core Gadgets was still having problems. So if you're a Core Gadget user, you probably already know that stuff. But for the average GarageBand user that's using basic plugins and basic effects, you should be 100% good to go, I would say. All right. 15.02 for iOS. Cover song. So I'm working on a cover song in GarageBand Mac at the moment, and we will be looking at that either later in this episode or maybe in a future episode, because having a few technical issues, because this is the problem we're having with GarageBand right now, and we'll attempt to solve everything as we go through. But I'm getting this error message right now: selected driver not found. So after I've just said to Barry Smith, you don't need any drivers. Yeah, apparently I've got problems. So if we come in here, and to be honest, the problems with GarageBand and Logic all kind of stemmed. Yeah, look, we're grayed out again. And I've never had them grayed out before, so that's super weird. The problem sort of stemmed from when I moved my sample library to an external drive. Now, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have done this. Because in Logic, you can actually use an external source to actually send your samples and your loops and things to. Yeah, let's just say I used a spinning hard drive, and I would not recommend it. I need to get myself an SSD, a Thunderbolt SSD, to be fast enough, because Yeah, it's like I've bought a brand new car and then filled it up with like kerosene. That's sort of the way I'd explain it here. So I've really bottlenecked myself with the ability to do that, or I've got a Fender and I've plugged it into like a 3 watt practice amp. That's kind of the problem I'm having here at the moment. So yeah, we're having a few issues here in GarageBand, but that's okay. We'll get there. Yeah, so good question from Colin. Where are people tuned in from? We haven't done that for a while. Let us know. Go, hi, my name's Peter. I'm a GarageBandaholic, and I'm from Adelaide, South Australia. Because it's always fun to learn who is here, and we've got a good crowd here today. And it looks like we may be having a chat. If I can't do any garage banding because of my audio setup issues here, we may just be chatting for the next 40 minutes, which is fine. I can talk that long. Alrighty. So I will jump into the next section. So I was going to rant about this. So while folks let us know where you're from, I'll have a quick drink and then we'll have a rant. So over the weekend, I saw many cases. There were a few things that kind of grinded my gears that I thought I would just throw out here. And a lot of it is related to folks, myself and other people reacting or not reacting to what other people say in groups, forums, comment threads, video comments. And I thought I would just talk about it here and now because I think that the biggest challenge we have at the moment is because there's a lot going on in the world, a lot of us are doing a lot more online, and a lot of stuff online is really hard to interpret because it's written form. So right now I'm reading your comments and you may have asked a question, like Peter asked a question about EPs and singles and albums. And maybe I was dismissive because I'm like, I didn't really understand what Peter was asking about there. Because it's really easy to misinterpret what someone says in general, but especially when you can't hear their tone and especially when you can't interpret their body language and what they're saying, it's almost impossible. So I've seen multiple examples over the weekend of people overreacting or reacting really like on a hairline trigger just when things are said. And I nearly did myself. Because I released a cover song this weekend, not GarageBand related, but I've had the same thing happen on GarageBand videos. But I released a cover song of My Hero, one of my favourite Foo Fighters songs. I'm listening to the Dave Grohl autobiography at the moment, and I thought, I'm going to throw out this cover. And got lots of comments from people saying, hey, that's my favourite song too. Yeah, really cool. Nice. I like the laid back sort of acoustic vibe. And then got one comment from someone that said, you should focus on your playing. I would stop bothering with the singing. I'm like, okay. And it was phrased just like that. And my initial reaction was, of course, to just go, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, man. Look at everyone else. I can't be that bad, can I? Oh, yeah. But again, I thought, nah, you know what? I'll go the high road with this. And I just said, actually, I really enjoy singing and I think I'm improving. I think I've improved quite a bit over the last couple of years. But I appreciate your feedback. But I think I'll keep going. Thank you. And I thought at the time, I'm like, yeah, that could have escalated pretty badly pretty quickly. If all I had to say was, you don't know what you're talking about. And then it's like, yeah, well, you suck. It's so irrelevant and it's so unnecessary and it's a waste of my time, their time and everyone else's time. So I don't really know what my end point here is to say, except that sometimes scrolling past, walking away. Like I know, look, my conflict resolution, and I've studied this, and I've done those tests and things that have told me this, but I use avoidance as my main conflict management tool. And it's not always the best, right? Sometimes you just got to confront things. And I don't mean to say that every time someone says something bad on the internet, you just run away with your tail between your legs. Sometimes you do need to stand up for yourself. But there's ways to go about that. And you'll know when it's actually relevant to do so. So the difference between someone saying to me, and I've used this before, but I got feedback in the past saying, Pete, really cool song. Thanks for sharing it. Your vocals are mixed a bit too loud. I would probably drop them by like 3 or 4 dB, and then I think your mix will sound a lot better. So to me, there's a difference between that and like, dude, your vocals suck. Where am I going from there? I mean, I could politely ask, oh, do you believe so? Could you please tell me what component of my vocals suck? Or do you have any advice for me to work on this? Is that really going to go anywhere? Is someone that opens a conversation with, dude, your vocals suck, the sort of person that I want to get into any sort of conversation about it with? Probably not. So, yeah, you have your choice. You have the ability to walk away. You have the choice of who you're going to interact with online, and it's all optional. And the one final thing I'll say about this is, I say it every week, but music is supposed to be fun and it's for enjoyment. So if you're getting frustrated by what people are doing or saying, you don't have to interact with them. The beautiful part, the challenging thing about the internet and online comments and people online is anyone can say anything to anyone. The wonderful thing is that anyone can block, ignore, and just walk away from anyone and anything. So if there's things that are going on to do with your music that are not making you happy and that are making you not have fun, then walk away from them. That's what I say. Or get Russ onto them. Russ will deal with it for them. Yeah, you got to choose. Exactly, you got to choose the hill you're prepared to die on. Exactly. I say this with my wife as well when I'm talking about my kids, which is we got to pick our battles here, honey, because sometimes you just got to go, yeah, what are you going to do? But sometimes it's important. So like sometimes if my children, I'm just like, oh, I shouldn't let them have that one toy. Like, okay, I'll let that go. And then it's like, but Dad, I don't want to have a shower. And I'm just like, basic hygiene. We'll have a conversation about this because that's something that you do have to do. You're going to have to suck it up and deal. And thank you, Robert. I wasn't asking for for reassurance, but no, I do appreciate it. And that's the thing. Yeah, I don't listen to just one person's opinion either, and you probably shouldn't either. You should at least get a consensus. Like don't be oblivious. Don't just completely cover up to it. But yeah, you're gonna have to do that. Go and have yourself some supper, Colin Stanton. There you go. Yeah, and I like that. I'd ask for a link to their singing. Exactly. Just yeah. What have you done lately? That's it. Spot on. Let's see where folks are from, and then we'll dive in. Yeah, you did walk into the middle of a rant, Kim. So welcome aboard, and hello to Seba, who I haven't seen for a while. I hope you are doing well. I know it's late for you at that time of the world. For it, and that's the other thing I do like that, Timothy. That sometimes when and to be honest, that's why I share my responses from some of the comments that I get. Is that I just sort of share my response to have a bit of a chuckle, but I also know that yeah, there's people that'll have you back there. Hello, Kenneth. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, so let's go through where folks are from. Where did the start of that thread come? I've got to scroll up to find it. We'll do this. So Timothy is from Chicago. We've got Bear from Tucson, Arizona. We've got Robert Latzer. Hello to you, my friend. Thomas says, I have my library spinning drive on my M1. No problem other than samples. Yeah, see, I don't know what it is. I'll have to play around with it. Ian Jenkins is from over in Sydney. Hello to you. Joe Glenn is from Ontario, Canada at the moment. There you go. Edinburgh, Texas. Very, very cool. We've got Rochester, New York. I'm from Australia. Exactly. I am definitely from Australia. Hartford, Connecticut. Papa Tom over there in Hartford. Hello to you. Hope you are doing well. All right. Let's continue on because we haven't got there. Thomas says he wouldn't have even replied, and yeah, and that's the other thing. I feel like I have to reply to every comment. I've got this weird thing where I just reply to everything, just because I feel that I should. We've got more folks here. So Patrick Chandler's here. Hello to you. Biel Zabab is from Cincinnati, Ohio. We've got Mark Bro in Montreal. Barry Glenn representing over in Canada as well. Randy D from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I didn't say that well at all, did I? Josh T in Jamaica. Very, very cool. From can't say that. Akasane. You can laugh at me now. In Canada, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, home of the Pens, and Darren Bryant from Virginia. Welcome, everybody. As I said, we're having a few technical difficulties with GarageBand, so it's going to be more of a chat show here today. You know, you roll with the punches as opposed to an actual demonstration type show. We'll see how we go with that. In fact, we'll have to see how we go with that because the very next thing is about installing plugins on the Mac. So I wonder if we can install plugins even though we don't have any audio driver here. All right, let's do a little bit of a quick testing here. So we'll see if we'll shut down everything that we possibly can. So I'm going to close out of all my other apps here, and we'll go back to square one. And I can't turn it off and on. That's the only problem. Is ordinarily what I'd suggest that folks do is if you're having problems like this, the best thing to do is to turn it off and back on again. I can't really do that in the middle of a live show here, but I am going to go and I'm going to close down everything that we have running here in the background that might be grabbing it. Because the biggest problem with audio drivers, we do some live troubleshooting here. The usual problem you have with audio drivers is when something else is using the audio. Now I'm using obviously the audio here on this stream. I'm using my Zoom Live Track L8 mixer, but that historically hasn't conflicted with GarageBand at all. It's always worked fine, but I'm going to quit out of GarageBand anyway. I'm going to quit everything. I'm going to, actually, before I do, I'll talk about one thing here that I wanted to mention, which is that if you like my stylish GarageBand users t-shirt, and I'm going to have to stand up so you can see it. There it is. The GarageBand users t-shirt. These have been designed by Ron Ward, and I haven't mentioned them on the show for a while, but I wanted to mention it here because if you want to get your own, I've actually got them up on my Teespring site, and you can see the difference. Mine's faded because I've worn it so much, but that's what they look like when they're brand new. I got the blue one here, and I've actually made these at cost price. So because Ron Ward designed them, he just wanted to get them out there for folks who love GarageBand and the GarageBand Users Facebook group. So if you want to show your GarageBand pride, you can see established 2016. Like, we've been around for a while in the GarageBand Users community. So if you want to share your GarageBand love, you can grab yourself this t-shirt. The red one looks kind of sharp as well. Maybe not. The red kind of blends in a bit, but the green. Look at the green, British racing green on that one. So if you want that, you can go to teespring.com/GBUdark. Or if you want the light colored version, which comes in all these nice pastel colors, you can go to teespring.com/GBUlight. So teespring.com/GBUdark or GBUlight and get yourself. And here they're $14. I think they're like $10 US. They're $14 here in Australia and pretty cheap delivery. So yeah, if you want to grab yourself a GarageBand Users t-shirt, you need to do that. Yeah, get onto it, Thomas Christ. They're pretty cool, and I've made them as cheap as I possibly can because they're not for profit. They're just for showing your GarageBand loves. All right, I'm going to close out of Chrome as well because that sometimes uses audio. Hang on. I'm closing. Oh, hang on. I can't close. I have to just close that window. If I close Chrome, that's going to close this window that we have right here that we're talking to. Yes, and exactly right. If you want any of the other merch, you can go over to studiolivetoday.com/merch. I don't think I have the GarageBand t-shirts there, but I should do that. So we've got Peter from Virginia. Is that VA? Is VA Virginia? Yeah, not Vancouver. No, Vancouver's in British Columbia. All right. Drum roll, please. We're going to reopen GarageBand and let's see if we can actually get back into it. That'd be right. The one day where I'm like, I'm going to use all GarageBand Mac today. That's the day that it doesn't work. So we have this problem again. Driver not found. Selected driver not found. And when we come in here, this is where you can usually come in here to preferences and you can go to your audio and your MIDI and you can select them there. Now, what I'm going to do, even though Logic's not running, let's quit GarageBand and let's actually load up Logic, shall we? Just to see, because maybe once I've loaded Logic, maybe it is actually sitting in the background. Decide lag. All right, so Logic's loading up here. Logic will expire. Yes, it will. Okay. No, we're getting the exact same issue here. So if we go to Logic Pro and we go to our preferences and we go to audio, we have the same problem here. So yeah, that's joy, isn't it? Cool. Selected driver not found. So what I'm probably going to do, and in fact what I am going to do, we won't be able to do any audio related stuff here in GarageBand or Logic until I solve this issue. So we will do that. And then I'll come back and I'll record another video. We'll either come back live or there'll be a delay. I'll decide by the end of the show whether I'm going to do it live or not. So we won't save it to that one. It might be something to do with the sound library stuff I'm doing or something else. You know what we should do? Let's live troubleshoot this. Let's see if someone must have had this problem before, and we'll see. So selected driver not found. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up a browser here in Chrome. And I'm going to search that. GarageBand Mac, selected driver not found. And see what people get. We'll see what we have. Apple support. What's that? Hi, I have a blah, 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 blah. GarageBand missing plugin. No. One thing for... no. Selected driver not found. Missing errors ready. There's a Reddit one. I bet you it'll just tell me to turn it off and on. We'll go to the Apple discussions forum and see what this one has to say here. Don't you love this? Yeah, you're like, did I come here to watch you try to solve your problems, Johns? Probably not. All right, try to do that, blah, 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 blah. Has anyone else ever had this? Hi. The MacBook Air is able to play unless you are trying to fix audio from GarageBand Mac won't open or play back your project. Okay, so that was the Apple answer from a community specialist. Try these steps. Restart your Mac. Update GarageBand. From the app menu, and then click Updates. GarageBand updates available. Check device or software. Yep. Use built-in audio. Well, no, it won't let me do that because it won't let me actually change the audio. Do you want to launch core audio? Open GarageBand, immediately press and hold the control key. In the alert, click disable audio unit plugins. Test with a new project. All right, so there's a few things here. Let's us go on a little journey. I told you that we would be taking a little bit of things. Switch to mobile and restart. Yeah, we could do that too. That's a good point. We could try that. Check in your Mac preference. Let's go step by step. We can't do the turn off and on, but maybe we'll do that afterwards. Maybe we will switch to mobile and then come back in here. But yeah, step one, restart your computer. I know that's always the problem, isn't it? But let's do all the other things. Let's not restart and let's do everything else. So update GarageBand. So it says in the Apple menu, go to updates, and if GarageBand update's available, we'll update it. So let's reload GarageBand. Oh, it's already loaded. Yep. So the Apple menu. And we'll see, are there any updates? Doesn't actually say update. Oh, here we go. Update. 4 updates in the App Store. Is one of them GarageBand? GarageBand, no. There's no updates. Updated recently. So I do have the latest version of GarageBand. So there you go. We can confirm that. 10.4.4 is my version, and we are updated. So that is not that problem. Thank you. Next suggestion, please, Apple. Device compatibility. If you're using external MIDI device storage control surface, a plugin not made by Apple, make sure that it's compatible with the latest version. Okay. Well, no, because I know that yesterday my Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 was working fine, as was my Zoom live track. Use the built-in audio. So we can't do this because it's not letting us change any of those options, so that's not going to work. This one, open GarageBand without audio input and output. Open GarageBand and immediately press and hold the control key before a project opens. In the alert, click Don't Launch. GarageBand opens can indicate the following. You might need to update this. So it's not really going to help us there. But that's an interesting one. Let's try it anyway. So if we close GarageBand, not Chrome, GarageBand, we'll close you. See, it's beach balling. Even when I go to click on something, it kind of beach balls. You know what? Why don't we close this project? Let's close the project and let's start fresh with that at least, because that might be a problem. What if we come in here? Yeah, so it's still out there, but if we just go a new empty project and we choose that, create, okay, and then we go to GarageBand and we go to preferences and audio. Still not there. One of the other things it says was to disable audio units. May result in inaudible tracks. Do you want to continue? Yes. So we'll disable the audio units because it did say to do that, and we'll quit GarageBand again, and we'll come back in to GarageBand. Yeah, I could unplug and plug back in, which would have the same problem because it would unplug the audio for the Zoom live track right here in the streaming. Clicking on the red button doesn't actually close your app. It just, yeah, I know, I've found that, and that's why I've worked out eventually that you have to go in here to GarageBand and quit GarageBand. So why does it reopen this? It keeps reopening this project even though I didn't have that one before. So close that. I don't want to. I just want you to start with an empty project, but it won't until I save this, I guess. Okay. All right, GarageBand, you win. We'll save this. Save it as project. Good stuff. So we still got the same problem in here with our preferences. I believe so. Yes. So let's do that one that it reckoned, where you hold down the control key as it's opening. This could be interesting. GarageBand. I'm going to load it up, and I'm holding control. Not control, command. It didn't really do anything, but it's still saying the driver not found. So I don't know that we're going to be able to resolve this issue here live on the show, but it was worth a shot, because why not? What else did they say? Open without, yeah, disable audio unit, test with a new project, test GarageBand with a new user account, reset GarageBand preferences. Okay, close GarageBand, Finder, open term. Oh God, I'm not going down that path. We'll do the turn it off and on before we go down that path, I think. Yeah. All right. So let's continue on because I want to explore how to actually install some plugins so that when we do get back to actually having audio on here, we'll have some audio unit plugins. So I watched a GarageBand tutorial from Patrick over at the GarageBand guide, and it's linked down in the description. Yes, I do. I need to just restart the Mac. That's 100% it, which we'll do, and we'll come back after this show and actually try that. But yeah, so I want to actually install Wider because it's my favorite plugin here. So what we will need to do is go back to our preferences and make sure that we do have enable audio units on here so that we can download a plugin. And let's go find Wider, shall we? So Wider is by Infected Mushroom. Wider Infected Mushroom. All right, so let's come here and download this plugin for Mac. So we need to find the Mac version of this and download it. Where's the download button? What's the show notifications? No, you can't. All right, here we go. Free. It reckons it's here. Wider. Oh, we've got to check out, do we? Is it going to want like an email address or something? Can I just download it, please, for free? Oh, it's got a sample manager and everything. Why? I never. No, just give me the download. Just give me the download. Oh no. All right, I don't want personalized information. Will you let? Okay, let me pause here for a while I come over here and fill in these details. Like, I mean, I get it. I run a mailing list. I understand how marketing works, but give me the option to not maybe. Like, okay, don't worry. And I'm not going to create an account. Whew. All right, can we download it now, please? I've given you my email address. You can spam me now. It's fine. I've just hit the download button over here. I've just had to insert my email address and details. Okay, and now it's just taken me to a page here, and we can download. All right, so Wider Windows, Wider for Mac. Okay, let's download it. No license required. Oh, thank good. Imagine if it needed one of those key tag things that you get. All right, so here's the DMG file for Wider. So this should be all good. All right, that's cool. So let's click it to open it. And this is going to open up and it should install this project. All right, we've got one of these things here. So there it is. There's the package file. See, I'm learning about this Mac stuff. I watched Patrick do this and it worked for him. Here's the Wider installer. We're going to continue. Continue. To continue, you must agree to this. Yep, I've read them all. I read them all and I love them. All right, and we'll install onto my hard drive. We need a password because Mac loves its passwords. So we'll throw this one in here. Count the keystrokes so that you can try and hack Pete. No, you'll be fine. All right, so we'll install that one and then we'll come back over here. It's installing, it's updating, it's validating, and it's complete. So that should be all done. Yes, we'll move the installer to the bin because we won't want to reinstall it. We'll close out of that. And then if we go back to GarageBand, this is where we go. Yeah, right, Ian. Time for another rant. Exactly. Yes, they want that info. They're going to do that. Wish you could restart yourself. I know, right? So just like people, sometimes it just needs a fresh start. Right. Oh, that's such a nice sentiment. I'm probably going to do that. I'm going to have to. You want a resolution on this, right? You want to find out. So I think we're going to have to do a reboot. I think I get better. Although I've never used Restream on my mobile. This could be I told you we'd be experimental today. This could be a double experimental day because I need to work out if Restream works on my mobile so that I can jump over and chat to you on mobile while I wait for my computer to restart. Restream. It's a day for testing. And it's cool because I do actually have, look, it's like I predicted it because I got this standing right by. I've got my selfie stick tripod standing by so that I can throw my phone straight into it. So we'll do that in just a moment. Oh, apparently I'll destroy my studio. So let's come over here and we'll see if we can add. Oh, see, I don't have a track now. If we can add, so we'll just go a new audio track here. Oh, you have added the maximum number of audio tracks, 1,000 to your song. Okay, so things are going super whack job here, right? You can see that as clear as I can. I've already added 1,000 tracks to it. Do I have some weird GarageBand virus? Is that what's going on here? That's super weird. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I've got my event. Can I edit this? Can I enter the studio here on my phone with Restream? Does Restream even have the ability to let me in? We'll find out. We're going to get there because I do want to reboot this. Yeah, we can enter the live studio. So let's experiment with this, shall we? Where are we going? Nope, this didn't work. All right, we're going to go back here. I'll show you what we're doing here over on the mobile here with the live streaming. This is all going so to plan. Oh, it keeps changing. It keeps popping around. Oh, Jeebus. So Restream just keeps jumping around to different things and going places, but it's not just letting, when I go to Restream originally, it lets me, it says here, enter the studio and enter the live studio, but then it just starts doing a whole bunch of stuff. It just kept auto going to things. Let's just try and tap that real quick. Enter the live studio. Get in. All right, here it goes. It's loading up Restream Studio. We're going to get some weird feedback loop going on soon because there's going to be like two of me in the same studio. All right. Would like to use a microphone and camera. We're going to allow. I'm going to allow it. Okay. Oh, there we go. I'll turn myself sideways. And I'm live with Restream. What's it going to do here when I add my new self, though? When I click go live, is it going to bring me in as a guest, or is it going to try and overwrite things? Let's find out, shall we? Roll that dice, roll the drums, and we'll hit go live button here. If everything falls apart, I'll see you on the flip side, people. You're already live streaming. To begin, to go live, stop the ongoing live stream. Okay, well, that's just handy. So I have to end this stream to go live on my phone. I can't just join in. All right, we're going to try a second way. We're going to invite myself as a guest. All right, so I'm going to copy that. I'm going to invite myself in as a guest here. If you have questions, by the way, it looks like this is going to be just one of those weird episodes, but if you do have questions and you're watching on the replay or you're watching here live, throw your questions. As we do this, I'll answer any questions that you may have as we go. But I just need to email this Restream link to myself, which I'm just going to do here in the background, and I'll send it to my email, and we'll call it Restream. Apparently, I was too smart for myself. I tried. It looks like it's all working here, and the studio is all set up and good to go, but I can't get into there to be on mobile until while I'm here. I have to add myself as a guest. So I'm just going to email myself a link. And then what I should be able to do is that sent through. I can now answer. See, I wanted to test this anyway. I wanted to test using someone on a Restream here, having a guest. So we'll find out how this is going to work in just a momento. I know it's the joys of technology, and hopefully you getting some comfort from this, that these sort of things just happen. And a lot of people are like, oh, why is it things work perfectly for you, and then when I go to do them, it doesn't work at all? It's like, no, trust me, if things don't work perfectly. All right, I'm going to put my name in here. I'm going to call myself Mobile Peach, and I'm going to join the stream. And that should jump me on in here. There I am. There's my other me. Oh, okay. So what I should be able to do here now is I'm going to turn my volume down here, and I'm going to jump on over to that mobile version. Hello. There's that feedback loop. And if I turn myself off there, hello. Slightly different view. All right, so let's see. Oh, okay. So I'm concerned here because what I think is going to happen is that it might, because I'm a guest on the other device, it's probably going to completely end the stream if I do this. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do that right at the very end of the stream. I'm going to make sure I've said everything else I need to say, and then we're going to experiment with that. And if it all fails and it falls over, then we'll have to come back on a new stream just to get there. Anyone like Portishead? Yeah, Portishead are very chilled, very relaxed. Haven't listened to Portishead in literally years. Yeah, very, very Inception, very sci-fi for sure. Let me just check my notes here. I'll check my show notes and see if there's anything else that we need. that we need to do, and then we will try that. So yeah, we've talked about the new GarageBand and the Logic versions. There's links down in the description to the videos that we talked about from Patrick and from the Music Tech Help Guy. We have installed a plugin on the Mac. The other thing I was going to show, the tip of the week, was that when, and I can't show it here because of the GarageBand issue, but when you are recording in GarageBand, it can actually slow down. So when I was playing in a lead part on my keyboard, it'll actually slow down your audio, even your recorded audio. So I recorded my vocals and I'm like, oh no, I want to change the BPM. It actually does that pitch, it does not the pitch shifting, it does that BPM matching for you automatically. So it's pretty darn cool. I like it. So that's something that I can't show here, but I did. I'll remind you that if you do want to support the channel, there's a few ways that you can do that. You can go to studiolivetoday.com. Studiolivetoday.com/gear is where you can find my gear guide if you're looking for all of the gear that I use here in the home studio to produce these shows. And you can, of course, go over to the gear guide. To the course, studiolivetoday.com/courses is where you can check out my beginner's guide for just $10. And don't forget, if you want to become a Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/PeteJohns as well if you want to support the channel over there. All right, who's ready? Who's ready to experiment here? So what I've got is I've got myself added as a guest here on Restream over here. I'm going to add myself in here. And now I've turned my volume down, so that I should be only on that one. And if this doesn't work, I'll see you on the flip side. But what I'm going to do is take that one on off, and I'm going to close down this computer. So it's been real. Hopefully we stick with you. Goodbye. All right. So it looks like the stream is still happening and I'm up here on just my mobile. Hopefully you can still hear things and what's going on here. So what I'm going to do as we go is I'm going to come in here. I'm going to close down everything here on my Mac. I'm going to save the changes that I've added to that one there. And we'll get things restarted here. The camera, because I have this lighting here, it looks a bit washed out from the mobile device here, but hopefully it won't be for long. Because the good thing about the Mac, the M1 here, is it will not take long to restart. We'll hit the restart button there, and we should be able to fire this one back up. Let me just see if I can see the comments on here as we go. I should be able to tap on this button. Stream is still up. Hurrah! For the win. So the stream is still up. It still seems to be working. We're going to do that in the background there. It's kind of challenging to look at because I can bring the comments up there and I can see what's going on, but just not really easy. I'm a bit orange. Is that the deal? Yeah. Some good vocal effects just then. Yeah, we've got a little bit of a natural delay. So we're restarting things over on the Mac, and that should be back up and running in just a few moments. So please bear with me while we do this. It's fun. We're learning together. So everything is rebooted and restarted. We're going to enter the password, of course, to get ourselves back in to the Mac. It's going to fire back up, and you want to see the comments? Orange. Yeah, everyone's seen orange. Everyone thinks I'm orange. And I don't know how, there's no way to change that. Give us a song, says Ian Jenkins. What's an orange song? Orange Crush. That's cinnamon, that tasted good, that's who you are, that's Hollywood. Come on, no one can see you cry. There you go. Thought that was relevant to have Orange Crush. All right, so if we go back to Restream, let's see if we can rejoin the stream over here. In fact, before we do that, what I'm going to do is let's just load up GarageBand first before I even go back into Restream. And we'll see, because if it's not going to work, it's all been for nothing. Come on, GarageBand, roll that dice. Oh, we want you to work. Hey, audio drivers for the win. Who would have thunk it? Turning it off and on was the solution. Yeah, not me. All right. Let's. Is there anything embarrassing? No, that's right. I'm like, is there anything embarrassing behind me on the thing over there? No, it's fine. It's just my what is it? It's a painting, and then it's like my charger and my cables and stuff over there. All right. So I'm going to enter the live studio here. I'm going to turn all my volumes down on my mixer so that I'm not going to come through double. And let's jump. Oh, it's keeps bringing me back in. It's got a bit of a fault here where unless you hit that Enter Live Studio button really fast, it doesn't take you in properly. So, yeah, the magic of restarting, I know. Who would have thunk it? Are you in your bedroom? Are you in your bedroom? Yes, my bedroom studio. It's everything. It's everything to me. All right, in events, all right, enter the studio. Jumping back into the studio, and we should be able to pop back on. Yes, Russ's album on Spotify is indeed very cool. Hey, we're back. We're just going to go to webcam settings to fix. There we go, and remove my old self. Bring us back up. Are we back? Was that a magic? Did you enjoy that trip? Yeah. All right. So guess what? You know what the plus side of this is? We seem to have things back up and running. And now I know that Restream is capable of doing that and how to do it. So I learned something here today. I hope you did too. All right. Yes. Pretty good with it. You'd think I'd be better with the technical stuff, but no, seems to be fine. I am back. I am good. We are good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close out on that one there on my phone, turn that one off, and pop that over to the side. Hopefully we won't need you again. But yeah, look, we got GarageBand back. Right. Okay. And here we go. So here's what we should have been able to do before, is to set our output device to the Zoom Live track, set our input device to the Scarlett. And maybe that was the issue causing those beach balls and things. So maybe I preemptively blamed the spinning hard drive and having my sound library there, and it wasn't the actual problem. All right, let's open a recent project. Let's go back to my Down Undercover and see if we can get this working. I know, you did it. You learned to restart. Exactly. I'm sorry, I'm not orange enough anymore. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. All right, let's... Oh, hang on. Some additional content is needed for this project now. Okay. Fair enough, Apple. Everything's happening here today. Oh, we got to do a password. Fun. Good times. All right, let's do this. Yes, I have all the characters in my password. All right. Are you going to let it actually play here now? Are we back to some form? All right, loading it. Okay. Yeah. What do you reckon? Are we going to play it? And you know what was happening before? For some reason, this drummer track is no longer playing now. And I don't know why. Oh, it's a comedy of errors, but we'll fix that later. What we did want to do is see if we can get wider now that we've got that plug in here. So this is part 2. You know what? I'm not showing you that anymore. There you go. So this drummer track is not actually working anymore. So it just showed us your password. Yeah, no, it really didn't. Because even if it did, it would have shown you as asterisks. But thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. And I'm just like, oh, scared. Oh no, what's going to happen? Yeah, so we don't have drums. But let's see if we can get this image on here. We can get this. What did we install? Wider. So what we should be able to do is let's just turn off that one. Here it is. Oh, it just puts it right under there. So here under audio units, we've got all the Apple audio units down the bottom here. And then we've got the infected mushroom, which is wider. And apparently I installed Valhalla Space Modulator at some stage and then forgot. So what I want to do is here on my main vocals, I want to put on the wider plugin. So this one here is my main vocal. It sounds a little bit like this.
Traveling in a fried out combi on a hippie trailhead full of zombies.
Yeah, so if we want wider on here to give us a bit of stereo width, we can actually do so by coming to this track here. We'll just, we'll take off the pedal board. I don't know what that's doing. And we'll add instead audio unit, infected mushroom wider, and then requires me to lower the security settings for GarageBand. Are you sure you want to proceed? It's just been one of those days, hasn't it? All right, I'm going to say yes, lower those security settings. It's probably going to ask me for my password or something here now. Oh, yeah, it's there. Look, I know. How long did it take us? It took us an hour to get one plugin installed, but we learned a lot along the way, and that's the main thing. So now we can play this vocal, and let's bring some wider on.
Do you come from a land down under where women glow and men plunder? Can't you hear the thunder?
Very cool. And you'll notice there, what I was talking about earlier in the show, see, everything's gone full circle here. So earlier in the show, I was talking about the fact that when you speed something up, so I originally recorded these vocals at like, oh God, I can't change the tempo now because I've got this thing up here. I've got like a tempo track that I created that I didn't even realize I created. So I need to work around that. But yeah, when I changed the tempo here originally, it now you can hear that you've got those artifacts in there. So a little bit of that. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. What is a combi? Yeah, so a combi is a combi van. Combi van, the VW combi, those little mini buses that you see around the place, that's a combi. So a fried out combi just means a combi van that's had some problems. So fried out combi van. All right, how do I get rid of these points? Let's just learn this, shall we? Do we just delete? No. There are regions. Delete the track and region. Oh my God. Okay. What am I doing? Undo. The blind leading the blind here in GarageBand Mac, I reckon. So what have we learned today? Let's summarize before we finish up here. So we have learned the following: that you need to restart your computer. If something's going wrong, turn it off and on. That's got to be it's called the universal fix for a reason, and it does fix a whole lot of stuff. And in this case, it would have fixed us very early if we just did that. Number two is we've learned how to install a plugin. So that's cool. You need to download it and then double click it and then double click it again and then lower your security settings and then put it in. Now, all of this is telling me, I know that I've always been biased that I use my iPhone and my iPad a lot. So my iPad Pro is what I usually use to record in GarageBand. And the iOS infrastructure really does hold your hand a lot more than what Mac does. Even though Mac has come a long way, you definitely, like to install plugins here in iOS, you literally go to the App Store and you tap download, and then it installs the plugin immediately, as opposed to the few steps that we had to go through here. So the reason that I say people are like, why don't you use GarageBand and Mac, and why don't you use Logic? I am going to start experimenting with these, but I'm never going to not want to use GarageBand iOS or use an iPad or an iPhone, because it just removes all of the hurdles, all of the challenges, all the things. So you don't have to worry about what device driver you've got installed. You don't have to worry about the installation and the security settings and things. It holds your hand for you. So that is my additional rant that we had here for today. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go away and work a little bit more on this project offline. So keep an eye on the channel for some more details and information about that, because I think I've exhausted my luck here today and it's only going to go downhill from here. But I do thank you for being here. Don't need LRC5 on the Mac because, we've got a very good EQ here on the Mac, which I'll be playing with. So do tune in for the rest of the week, because we'll be doing a whole bunch more in GarageBand Mac. I'm learning a lot. I'm going to have to go to Patrick's channel and check out a bunch of stuff that he is doing over there and learn more about how to use GarageBand on the Mac. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for hanging out today. I enjoy this stuff. I genuinely, yes, it gets a bit frustrating sometimes, but I genuinely enjoy the troubleshooting process and working through things and learning new things and embracing new things. So hang around the channel, because for the next couple of weeks, we'll be on a bit of a learning journey together. Thank you everyone for being here. Please, as we say at the end of every show, be kind to yourselves. Be super kind this week. I hope you have a really good week. Be kind to others. If you see someone being trolled or bullied on the internet, that's where you can step in and you can actually help people out and just say, "Hey, are you okay? That comment was uncalled for. I think your Swedish polka song was actually amazing." You can do that, and keep creating, folks. I'm going to go and have another coffee, I think, after all that. See ya.